Jagjit.
Morning.
Mr. Jagjit, you served as Namlifa president for the term 1992 to 1994.
Correct.
And what were your plans for Namlifa when you took up the position of president?
Okay, so when I became the president, I wanted to do one thing. Most important was change the image of the agent and industry. That this image can be recognized, and Namlifa is representing a group of professionals. So when the public look at you, they know they're talking to a professional. That was what I wanted to do. So even during my time before I became a president, I was in the council for almost about 6 years, all right, 6 to 7 years. I was really looking at it that how could we change the industry image, that why people don't respect the agent like they respect the doctor or the lawyer. But in fact, we are doing better than that. So that was what we wanted to do. So we organized the whole thing in that manner, and just like during my term, after the years of planning, I could implement some things that could bring changes to the industry. That's what this is now do. Basically was how to change the image.
That was your main...
Main. Because I came into this business, I was a government servant. So when I came into this business, I want to be in the business where people respect. I don't want to be in the business that people don't respect. So when I was a new agent, I found out that a lot of people don't respect the agent. And I felt that, hey, that's not right. People don't understand. So we got to make the public understand what is it. So how we can start, and Namlifa was the best place to get it done. That's how I came in to do that. No?
What challenges did you and your council face during your term as president?
Okay, basically, the most important challenge we faced during my term was the OCC, which was to be implemented during that period. And of course, negotiation was going on with Bank Negara, and we were having an uphill task against the OCC implementation, because we know with the OCC implementation, a lot of things will be tied up. It will affect the industry badly. And the other one was the LUTC program, which was basically done by MRI, and then the agency was not getting involved. So these are the basic two challenges I faced during my term as president and the council members. More than that, no, I don't think so. We didn't have any more challenges.
Can you elaborate what was the OCC, how it was impacting the agency force?
Okay, the OCC was actually introduced, was to be implemented by Bank Negara sometime in the early 90s. But however, before my time, Dr. Jeffrey Chu, the president, has managed to work out with Bank Negara to look at it again and delay it and whatever can be done. Then it overflowed to my time. So when it came into my time, Bank Negara was a bit more serious. They say it needs to be implemented, because they see it has been implemented in Singapore and things have changed. They want to implement it here to actually bring down the cost of doing business, and whereby they could give back more to the customer. I mean, it's a good intention. We don't mind, But then there are certain areas they have to look at it that it doesn't affect the growth of the industry. So that's what, as a council, we were not happy with it. We felt that it will curb the growth of the industry. So we wanted to do some changes. So we faced this uphill task to get them to listen to us. But we managed to get a lot of help with the Minister of Finance then, Anwar Ibrahim. So he arranged for us the tripartite committee to be formed, which was formed in early 1993, whereby the tripartite committee formation includes the Liam, Namlifa, Bank Negara, Consumer Association, and the minister himself. He would chair the meeting. So that time the Deputy Minister of Finance was Ghani, who is the Menteri Besar Johor now. So he is the one who chaired the tripartite committee meetings. So a series of meetings were held to work out the whole solution. But then later on, in 1993, we appealed further, and during the Asia Pacific Life Insurance Congress, Anwar made the announcement that it's deferred until further notice. I think which was subsequently implemented 2-3 years later. That's what we went through.
And Mr. Jagjit, what was your most satisfying achievement during your term of office?
Okay, this was in 1993. Okay, when the first time when I took over, we decided to do a big project. We call it the MDRT Day, and we felt that we could get the number 3,000. And true enough, we did it in the Putra World Center. Ricky Koo, my colleague from Penang, he was organizing chairman, and we got 3,000 people to attend the MDRT Day. Never before in the history of Namlia. Right, first time. Then we managed to get the Minister of Finance to come in. That was Anwar Ibrahim. He last minute agreed to come in, and when he came in, the day he came, we got a lot of publicity. Almost every paper in the country carried publicity, and every TV channel carried publicity. And that started to change the image of the business. image of the agent. Because during his presentation, his speech, he says, people must buy insurance. People cannot depend on the government. They should buy insurance for the old age, they buy insurance for the disability, and to take care of the loved ones. That message was highlighted in every press. And that helped people, buying insurance is a good thing. You see, when you get the third party to say insurance is good, people listen. But if I say insurance is good, they say, because I'm selling, that's why I'm saying it's good. You see? But the third party is saying he's not selling, but he says you should do. So that's what happened. And during that time, we also appealed to him to allow the business to grow by allowing the exemption of 3,005 to be increased, or separate it from EPF and insurance, separate one. He listened to us, and during that year in October, during the budget, he announced that 3,005 will be increased to 5,000. And he also included a 2,000 for education and medical insurance, which was subsequently raised to 3,000, and the 5,000 was raised to 6,000 later on. So this was done during that time. So we felt, or I felt, and the council felt, that we have achieved something big. Because Liam was asking Bank Negara for so many years, they couldn't get it done. But during that period, we got the thing done. At least we were able to raise it to 5,000. And by that, more agents are able to sell more. So that helps out in that way. This was done during the 3,000 because the minister was impressed the way we organized the seminar. He was impressed the way we invite the speakers from overseas, and everybody is coming here to learn to improve themselves. So he got a different image of the insurance agent. And you look at it, hey, you guys are doing a good job. That was one of the biggest achievements I had in that time, in 1993. And of course, also towards the end, middle of the 1993, we were asked to host the APLIC, the Asia Pacific Life Insurance Congress. The first one was held in Singapore by Robert Young. They had 5,000 participants. So when I and Dr. Jeffrey Chu represented Malaysia to go there, they asked us to take on the post. At the time I was the deputy president. So I said, we take. So 1993, we organized, and we got a crowd of 8,000 people, out of which 4,000 were from overseas, from whole of Asia, right? Until I remember, there were 2 participants from South America who came all the way, So we organized this for the 3 days. And during that time also was Namlaifa's 50th anniversary. So I proposed to the council that we organize a week celebration to celebrate the 15 years of success and create a publicity for the insurance industry like never before. All agreed? Then we did a series of events. We did the torch run first to raise money for the badminton, right from Johor Bahru to Penang to KL. We had a torch run for 2 days. Then we had what they call the blood donation, where we collected 1,000 pints of blood and gave it to all the government hospitals. And the blood donation was done throughout the whole country, right? Then after that, we had what they call a charity high tea for all the orphanages in the Klang Valley. We hired something like 40 buses to pick up the orphanages from all over and bring them over to what they call Putra World Trade Center, have a good party with them and give them gifts. That's what we did. Then the next day, we opened an Namlaifa office, okay, because we knew that with the Asia Pacific Congress, we'd be making $1 million profit. And that was our target, to make $1 million. So with the 8,000 participants, $1 million. With that 1 million, we bought this office. And we did the opening during that time. Ghani was the guest of honor, Deputy Minister of Finance, and all the world speakers who had applied, all were the witness to the opening ceremony. That was this office came into being, 1993. Then towards the later day, we celebrated the 15th anniversary dinner with that time Minister of Transport, Dr. Ling Leong Sek. Okay, he was the minister, he attended. We had celebration with all the previous. Then the next day was the APLIC opening. So the APLIC was held for 3 days, and during the time there was also an Asia Pacific Presidents meeting, where all the presidents from the 25 countries in whole of Asia Pacific attended. And Rafida Aziz, being the international minister, she came and opened the thing of the meeting. So we do it in that particular manner. Then the APLIC was done, whereby Anwar Ibrahim came and opened, and of course there were about 6 ministers altogether who came for the opening ceremony, including Ling Leong Sek, including Subramaniam, including Ghani, and then including Dr. Fong. So Anwar Ibrahim was amazed that he said half the cabinet is present at this meeting. Usually only the cabinet, half the cabinet is present at UMNO meeting. But Namlaifa, he said, I'm impressed. You guys can do it. So he was very impressed. And somehow or another, I had to convince him that we delivered the crowd for you. You want the 8,000? You have to deliver a message. So he announced that OCC we postponed indefinitely until further notice. And that was the biggest achievement I think we worked for, and we got it. And the last day, we had what they call a Gamma launch, whereby we brought Gamma from USA to help the agency leaders, and there was an official signing ceremony and launch of the association. And I think this is the things that highlighted during my time as a president, and until today, I can recall every incident bit by bit. And there was press publicity every day, and every day in the news, 7 p.m. news, I remember TV3, English news, 7 p.m. those days, first statement is Nam Lai Fa, Nam Lai effect. And because of that, the industry image changed. The agency force grew from 46,000 to 83,000. Everybody wanted to become an insurance agent because they felt it's prestigious. I'm doing the right thing. I'm being recognized, and everybody wanted to be. I think all the companies and all the agency leaders had a good time recruitment. As a president, I feel that's what should be done to help the industry to grow. And during my term, I achieved that. That's what I wanted to do. And I don't know how I did it, but I achieved it. And everybody was happy with it. That's the biggest achievement, I would say, in my life until today. I achieved something I don't know whether I can do again or not. But during that time, I look back, I'm also wondering, I did all that. I really achieved all that. I mean, I'm also amazed myself that, but it's a lot of sacrifice. I have to sacrifice my business time, my family time, my personal time for Nam Lai Fa. I had no choice. No way. Without me and the council members and the staff, I think we did a lot of sacrifice. I'm from Penang. During my time as president, I used to stay 3 days a week in KL. By the time I go back tonight, the secretary calls me next morning, this afternoon, got a meeting in Bank Negara, please come back. And that's what I used to do. But even though that year, 1983, I still make it to $1 Million Round Table. My personal sales, I still do it to my own. So I'm amazed that somebody can achieve so much. So everybody can do it if they want to do it. Nothing is impossible to me. If you really want to do it, you do it, can do it. I was a president, I was so busy, and I still did my MDRT that year. So why not? It can be done. That's the biggest achievement I cannot forget, the association with this association.
So Jagjit, as you know, we are achieving 35 years of service to members. How relevant is Nam Lai Fa's role today based on its founding principles in the fast-changing financial landscape?
I think this one is because Nam Lai Fa has got its objective, to take the interest of the insurance agent. So I think Nam Lai Fa should look and zero in into that. Continue with the original image that was set to look after the agent's insurance interests. I think we should not worry ourselves too much to financial planning and all that, because we are basically a tight agency with the companies. That's the Asian style, not the US or the Australian or the British style. So we still have to zero in with the company, and we've got to work with the companies, because if the companies don't encourage the agents to be our members, we have a problem. Right or not? The agents will listen to the company first. So we have to work with the company, and Nam Lai Fa has to work hand in hand with the company, letting the companies know that at the end of the day, we want the interest to be taken care of, and we want our agents to do the business. When our agents do more business, the company also gains. But the interest has to be taken care. So somebody as an umbrella body, Nam Lai Fa, has got to be there to do this negotiation with the insurance companies. It will be much better than an individual company to do the negotiation. That's what I think Nam Lai Fa should continue with this objective and keep on track on that. That will be the most important thing. Maybe I would like to suggest if they can change the name back to insurance agent, will be better. Yeah. Then we'll be zero into that. Forget about the financial planners. Leave them alone, That's what can be done. So we zero in, I'm sure the company will support her. That's what it should be. It should be the existence there to take care of the interests of the agent and the agency leaders. That's it. That's the most important issue. And since Bank Negara has already accepted Nam Lai Fa as an organization to talk on behalf of the insurance industry, the agents and agency leaders, I think that's a great step. So we should do it in a proper manner and get it done. We got backup from them. So it's a tripartite kind of thing. The insurance company, Liam, Nam Lai Fa, and the regulator. We three sit down and talk for the benefit of the whole industry. Why not? We worry about industry. They worry about what they call the business and the customers. Bank Negara make sure everything is done well. Everybody is happy. When all three parties are happy, business is booming. That's what we want to do, nothing else.
So, as you say, then Nam Lai Fa is still relevant.
Of course, definitely. It has got to be relevant. There can't be any other organization that can do what Nam Lai Fa can do. I mean, Bank Negara is recognizing Nam Lai Fa as a representative of the agent and the leader. They didn't take any other organization. So, we have to do a partner. We've got to continue with that and upgrade ourselves and do things that are better. That's what it is.
Mr. Jagdeep, what would be your suggestions and ideas to beef up the overall membership strength to NAMLIFA to stand as a formidable association?
Okay, you see, I don't know what's the membership now. What's the membership now?
Membership of 8,000.
8,000. Well, that's good. So it's back. The highest membership I had was during my term was 10,000. So we're back to 8,000. That means not bad. We're going. So I think more people can come in. But the thing is that members want to find out is that if I come and join, what do I get out of it? You know, I pay the fees, what do I get? So members have to get something. And at the same time, the company have to encourage the agents to be members. If the company don't encourage the agents to be members, the agents will not want to become members. So I think NAMLIFA have to look at that point and work with the companies. And looking at the companies, maybe work with the companies and ask the companies to encourage every one agent to be a member of NAMLIFA. Why? This is what they can gain from NAMLIFA. And when the companies can see there's a gain, they will encourage people to become members. Instead of we asking people to become members or begging them to become members, I think it would be much easier if the company can get the people to become members. Even they can do block membership. Why not? Can be done that way, right or not?
Yeah.
The company encouragement has to come because company is paying them. Company spends more time with the agent. But if the company don't encourage them, then people don't want to come forward. So I think we got to work with the company to increase the membership. That will be much better that way. It'll be easier to get it done.
Yes, Mr. Jagdeep. From your experience and observation, what are the qualities you expect from the incoming future presidents?
Okay, very important matter is that they must be able to sacrifice. Okay, this is a voluntary job. It's not paid. You have to sacrifice. Sacrifice your personal time, your business time, your leisure time, and you must be prepared for that. All right, that's one. Number two is I see that the presidents must have a leadership, because if you don't have leadership, you don't have image outside there, and when you don't have image, people don't respect you. So even the company CEOs have to respect you. But if you don't have the image as a president, they don't want to respect you. But if they can respect you and they come for all your function, the company CEOs, automatically the agents will say, hey, my company CEO go, I also must go. You see, they'll follow the CEO, right or not? At the end of the day, so president image and industry must be strong. Okay? You want to build a rapport, you must be strong. He must be able to earn the respect. Okay? He got to do the right thing to earn the respect. He must also be successful in his own right, in his own business. He cannot be one of those persons who's not successful. I mean, if this industry is really good, as a president, he's got to be successful. You cannot put somebody who's not successful to be up there. The companies who don't want to support him. Right or not? I mean, like, take for example, MDRT. An MDRT president must be an MDRT. It cannot be a non-MDRT who's a president. And most of the MDRT presidents are top of the table. They're not even normal MDRT, you know. They are a few years qualified at top of the table. They've proven themselves that they are the best in the industry. Then they are able to lead the best. That's what I think we have to look. And another thing is that as a president, he must have good public speaking skills. Because if you cannot speak in public, then it's a problem. I learned this during my time. Because when I was able to speak well, I think that things can get done. People pay attention, people listen to you, right from Bank Negara to Liam. But when you cannot speak well, they will just look at you a different way. So I think if the president don't have, he should upgrade his public speaking skills. So I think these are some of the things that you should achieve. Qualities that needed there, needed there. And their commitment in industry must be more than 100%. They must be 100% committed in this industry to lead this organization. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. If he's not committed in this industry, then the members will say, hey, how come the president he is not committed in the industry, then how? So you've got to be 100% committed, you see. To me today, 32 years in my business, I never do anything except insurance. I don't do any other business, I don't do any other sales except insurance. That's it. Simple as that. Even my 2 children are with me in the business. That's my commitment for the business. You know, I look at it that way. If this business is no good, will I bring my children in? I'm spoiling the career, future, right? But the business is the best. So whoever is leading in the council or the presidents, they must be 100% committed in their business. Then you see change will be there. People will come in and say, hey, these are the leaders. They know what they're doing. We follow. That's what we need, qualities like that.
Yes, Mr. Jagdeep. As you know, we are reaching 35 years of service to members. what will be your vision and expected achievement of Namlifa and your advice to the future leaders of Namlifa?
I would say what will happen, I wouldn't know, because it all depends on the leadership, right or not? If you ask me what's the future of the industry, what the future of Namlifa, it will depend on the people leading Namlifa, right? Like if we said, if they're committed, I think Namlifa will go very far. But if they're not that committed, then of course Namlifa will stagnate where it is, you know. So the future all depends on the councils that is coming in, or the president, whoever is coming in, and what level they can move the industry to. They got to show the commitment level, and with that, I think Namlifa can go very, very, very far. I would say very, very far. I know it's been done the previous years, like from the founder, president, and all the way until my time I've seen it. Everybody is very committed. Robert Cha, you mentioned Robert Cha, until today he's still committed in industry, right? Eden Hyong was there, you know, Karwamurthy is still there, all there. Dr. Jeffrey Chu, he's also 30 years in industry. All these people are more than 30 years in industry, and they're still there, you know. So that's what is going to be very important. Then people look at it, hey, these are the people, oh, that means this is the right business to be in. They're still in the business, you know. So the commitment level is very important. Then you can see the association grow. If the commitment level is not there, then the association will stagnate. That's what I can say, nothing much.